Integrated Human Resource Information System, or IHRIS, is an online platform that uses the 4 core system processes of human resource management for continuous employee improvement. Primarily used by our LGU's human resource management and development officers for recruitments, trainings, performance management, rewarding, other transactional processes and data-driven decision-making. Before we guide you on how to access the web application, let us showcase our office's platform that we use and is still being developed, operated and maintained for the past 2 years. The 4 core systems of IHRIS. Recruitment Selection and Placement, or RSP, is a strategy for attracting, screening, selecting and onboarding qualified persons based on relative qualifications and competence in adherence to the merit, fitness and equality principles. It all starts here in the Plantilia editor. New or existing vacant positions are added or updated. In the publication editor, available positions are then selected for publication from the list of vacant positions. Publication is created with the date of publication and the deadline of requirements submission. A spreadsheet document is then downloaded for printing or posting. Collecting of applicants' data is then done in the comparative data editor. The vacant position is selected. Then its information and qualification requirements will be displayed. From here, new applicants are added together with their qualification data. All is then printed, and will become the comparative data to be used by the Personnel Selection Board as their reference for the incoming interview. Finally, in the individual turnaround time editor, a report is then created showing the days each applicant undergone through the stages of recruitment, selection and placement for the available position. From the date of publication, screening, sending of letters, posting of qualified applicants, conduct of interview, background investigation, recommendation, appointment, and oath of office. The total cost of sourcing will also be displayed. This all will then be printed for filing. Learning and development, or L&D, is an approach that uses competencies as the standards against which employee development needs are assessed and priorities are set against the need of the organization. It utilizes competencies as the foundation for designing targeted programs with learning outcomes that directly link to the competency requirements. Starting with the identification of competency gaps, or training needs analysis. Competency is assessed by the employee themselves and by their respective supervisors. An in-depth report is then generated from their self-assessment showing each competency gaps. Here shows graphs showing how many % falls to each levels, and a list of personnel showing what level they belong to. Another in-depth report is also generated from their supervisor showing each competency gaps. From all this, a proper intervention or training can be assigned that corresponds to each competency weaknesses. An annual L&D plan is then devised that will address the competency requirement of the organization. There are two kinds of trainings that are being carefully planned. The in-house trainings are interventions that uses our very own resources and LGU employees as speakers and trainers. The goals, number of hours, the target participants, methods, and budgetary requirements are carefully determined. The LGU-sponsored trainings, in the other hand, are interventions that are outsourced. Speakers and learning resources are from external learning practitioners. In the development needs assessment, target participants are automatically assigned to each kind of training. Based on training needs assessment in every organization that has been addressed to. Once the plans and target participants has been set up, the schedule now follows. In the training schedule or evaluation, training schedule is added using the training calendar tool. Once a date is selected, the training, time, place, and participants are determined. Finally, the information or feedback of the effectiveness of the training or workshop conducted are obtained. This is used for the integration and evaluation of training feedbacks to assess if target outcomes were achieved. Trainings and feedbacks are then consolidated in the training reports. Shown are the data collected in every year, sorted by gender and by employment status. Also shows the number of employees who had done trainings and those who had none. Performance Management System, or PMS, is a mechanism that links employee performance with organizational performance to enhance the performance orientation of the compensation system. It ensures that the employee achieves the objectives set by the organization, and the organization, on the other hand, achieves the objectives that it has set in its strategic plan. Performance Rating Report. Performance Rating Report is created here, and the data are collected from the online Individual Performance Commitment Review System. The rows highlighted in blue indicates employees who have not yet submitted their IPCR. Highlighted in yellow are those who have submitted and reviewed by their immediate supervisor. Those that have submitted, reviewed, and validated are not highlighted. All this is then printed for filing. Coaching and Mentoring Report. These are collections of periodic coaching and mentoring session data of each employees by their supervisors. Turnaround time. Turnaround time shows reports of the number of days the employee's IPCR took to be appraised from the date submitted. Summary of comments for development intervention. Here are the consolidated data from all of employees' performance review for every period. Both supervisor and employee identify training programs or other development interventions that can improve the employee's competencies and performance. Rewards and recognitions, or R&R. is a system designed to encourage creativity, innovativeness, efficiency, integrity, and productivity in the public service by recognizing and rewarding officials and employees for their suggestions, inventions, supervisor accomplishments, and other personal efforts which contribute to the efficiency, economy, or other improvements in government operations, or for other extraordinary acts or services in the public interest. Personnel recognition. Personnel recognition tool is used to record all of the employees' awards and recognitions received. System review. System review is a collection of feedbacks and suggestions for the R&R system. As shown, this is last year's feedback data regarding the exemplary service incentive bonus, granted to every casual and permanent employee. Interlinked together, information is passed and processed from each other. One couldn't simply work without the other, creating a cycle. Applying these 4 practices in Human Resource Information System gave birth to our integrated HRIS. Developed and is now being launched to be accessible for every casual and permanent employees to have basic access to their information. To visit the page, simply open up any web browser. In the search bar, type HRMDO-LGU Bayawan.online and hit enter. All casual and permanent employee already have their respective username and password pre-generated for them, so no need to register for an account. Username will be in lowercase and no spaces. The format is the initials of your first name, initial of middle name, and full last name. To log in, enter username in the field and enter the password. Default password is 1234. Then click Login button or hit enter. Users is highly advised to change their default password after first time logging in. To do so, click Change Password link at the upper right part of the page. Fill out the form and click Change button and log in again. Once logged in, you will then be redirected to your dashboard. Here you'll have access to your basic employment information. In the Calendar tab, you'll see available trainings scheduled, and also you can add your own event. To do so, click on the day of the schedule, fill out the form and click Submit. In the Appointment tab, you'll see your current appointment information as well as the past records. In the PDS tab, you'll see your personal data sheet form, which must always be updated. To update, click on the Update button, and select and type on the field that needs changing. Then don't forget to click on the Save button. In the Service Records tab, you'll see your current service record information as well as the past records. In the Leave Records tab, you'll see your attendance reports for the past months. In the HR Course tab, you'll see the competency profile from RSP, interventions attended from L&D, your biannual individual performance commitment report, ratings and coaching and mentoring from SPMS, and finally, your awards and recognitions from R&R. To log out, simply click on the Logout button from the upper right part of the page.